I ask mothers pretty much every single time I coach a mom, I ask them to do a small act of kindness for themselves before they go do what else they need to do in their day. Just to take a breath and go, okay, before I do any more work today, before I make any more decisions today, the one thing that I do know is that I'm going to do a small act of kindness for myself. Hi, welcome back to Mother's Guide Through Autism podcast. I'm Bridget Shipman. I'm your host for this podcast, and today I'm going to continue talking about kindness. Today I want to discuss why kindness is essential on the Autistic Spectrum Disorder journey. And I'm also going to talk about how to practice self-kindness to feel more joy. So in the last episode, I was talking about doing a small act of kindness daily, how essential that is to be the quarterback of your child's team. And I want to take a whole episode to talk about kindness because I think it is that important, and how to give you some practices and guide you on how to really live this way daily. And it really is a game changer. And I've talked about it before, but today I want to not only talk about it, but we're going to apply it. And so I know a lot of you listen to me in your vehicles as you drop your kids off, or if you're going to pick them up. It's a handy time, right, to listen to Mother's Guide Through Autism. But this is going to be a practice. You can go ahead and listen to this and then go ahead and apply it if you need to when you are at home, and you can find something to write with. So if you are at home and you can write this practice down, it'll help you. I always recommend having a journal for these episodes and some of the work that we do together. So it's just right there by your bed. You can look over them as you move forward on your autism journey as a mother guide. I want to begin with talking about what kindness is. And I know we all have a really good idea of what kindness is individually, but I want to go a little deeper because I believe that kindness is being generous, it is being considerate, friendly, but it's also taking it to a way that we live our lives. We want to deepen kindness where we're actually living in kindness on a daily basis. And that can be really challenging when you're going through a really hard time. But again, as I talked about last episode, as you being the leader of your child's team, this is essential. This is what's going to give you strength. I know that asking the question for yourself, is kindness a choice? Can you, in fact, choose living with kindness? Can you choose kindness? I believe that you can. I believe that kindness is a choice. I believe that it is no different than choosing to go left or right, from choosing good and evil, choosing to brush your teeth, comb your hair, exercise, all the choices that we make on a daily basis. It is like making one of those choices. And I believe choosing one thing over another is being aware of what you want the result to be. So making a choice, for example, If you're going to choose going left over right, your result is going to be, well, if I go this way, I feel like this is the better direction to go. Choosing kindness is when you choose it, you know what the result is that you want. And there are many motivational quotes that you can look up. You might even want to create a mantra around kindness for yourself. I know that I intentionally set kindness on my meter to live. I want to live with gratitude. I want to live with joy, and I want to be a kinder person. That is my intention. And so you can look up some quotes. I know I wrote a couple down just for you today. Your life, your choice. We are our choices. Choose change, take control, achieve your goals, and create the life you want. So those are just 3 examples of some motivational choice quotes that you can begin with. But what these are all saying is that when you do make a choice, that you're going to create something really good for yourself. And I think creating kindness in your daily life is doing something really good. And it grows and it becomes bigger than you. So I want you to think about that. We make roughly 35,000 choices a day. So that is a lot. Those are a lot of choices. And then if you're going through a time where something is new, like you just found out your child is on the ASD spectrum and your child has a lifelong disability, you have even more choices to make. And I believe to create an awareness of kindness is going to get you started, but we also need to practice it. So once you have the awareness, now let's talk about how we're going to apply it. Okay. How are we going to practice kindness? So kindness is a choice in how we treat others, but kindness is also how we treat ourselves. Once you practice being kind to yourself, it gets a lot easier to be kind to others. I ask mothers pretty much every single time I coach a mom, I ask them to do a small act of kindness for themselves before they go do what else they need to do in their day, just to take a breath and go, okay, before I do any more work today, before I make any more choices, decisions today, the one thing that I do know is that I'm going to do a small act of kindness for myself. And that can be really challenging. I talked about this a little bit last time, but I want to go a little deeper. I want you to consider that, and I know this for sure for myself, that self-kindness is one of my superpowers. And it's a superpower to be able to live with more joy. When I am aware of kindness, I feel like I get stronger. It is a strength for me. It is a superpower for me. That's what kindness is. And when I start with myself and I can fill myself up and I can do something kind for myself, it naturally grows. It's an organic growth that just takes place. And it can feel odd at first. When I coach moms and I say, okay, go do a small act of kindness. And they're like, oh, they can think of a lot of them to go do for somebody else. But then I say, now this small act of kindness is for yourself. Then it gets a little more difficult for them. Moms that I've coached in the past are like, I don't know. So I help them with that. And that's what I want to help you with today. So if you can think of small acts of kindness for others and it just comes flooding through, how can you turn that around to yourself? How can you say, okay, I'm going to apply kindness to others to myself first? Just take a breath. So let's take that first step. First thing you're going to do is you're going to choose it. You're going to start your day. If you're listening, no matter where you are in your day today, and you're hearing this for the first time, make a choice. Choose kindness. I want to be a kinder person. I believe that kindness can change how I live my life for the better. Once you choose kindness, now you can begin to practice it. So let's do that. I want to do this small act of kindness practice with you. You can do this daily. And once you get really, really good at it, this is why it's called a practice, because we do need to practice it. It's just going to come natural to you, just like brushing your teeth. You won't be thinking about how can I be kind to myself. You'll have things ready. You'll be really, really good at it. So let's take a deep breath. If you want to go get something to write with, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, just listen and do it with me. All right, we're going to take a deep breath. I always like to take that big, deep breath and let those shoulders relax. Now, let's picture yourself doing an act of kindness for someone else. Maybe you've done one recently. Maybe there is something kind that you've been thinking about doing for a neighbor or a friend, and that's going to motivate you to do it. So think about a small act of kindness for someone else. Now feel what doing something kind for someone else feels like. Feel the feeling. Feels good. I can feel it. It feels really, really good to feel a small act of kindness towards another person. Now, picture doing a small act of kindness for yourself. It can be very, very small. Now, feel the kindness for yourself, the same feeling that you have towards others for self, and go do this small act of kindness. If your small act of kindness feels too big, then make it smaller. So if you've picked a small act of kindness and it feels stressful to you, and it feels like, I don't know that I'll be able to do that, think of something smaller until it feels just as good as the act of kindness you felt for someone else. You want to make it small enough where you will go do it, because if it feels too big and you don't make it smaller, more than likely you're not going to do it at all. And I would love to see you do a small act of kindness for yourself, even if it's the smallest. And maybe some examples are, depending on what's going on in your day, but I've had some moms choose 5 minutes of quiet, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but for some of you, that could be everything. So that's what I mean by small acts of kindness. If you're feeling really good and you feel like you want to do more for yourself, then certainly do that. But start with something that you really are craving, that would really feel good. That feeling that we talked about, feel the feeling of kindness. And I want you to create this kindness daily. You can do it more than once a day. Once you get really good at it, you can do 3, 4 small acts of kindness for yourself. Do it all day long, because what's going to happen is you're going to fill yourself up. You're going to have more energy. And as I said at the very beginning of this podcast, you're going to feel more joy. You're going to feel happier by doing these small acts of kindness throughout your day. And certainly do small acts of kindness for others. You're already good at that. That's my hunch anyway. But turning it around to yourself is going to be possibly more challenging. So I want you to remember to be patient with yourself as you apply small acts of kindness for self. And again, if it feels like a challenge, make it smaller. Here's another suggestion for you. If you're thinking of a small act of kindness for yourself and you're struggling with it, take a breath and just sit for a moment and make a list of small acts of kindness that you might do for someone else. And then make that list for yourself. So let's say you come up with hopefully at least 3 small acts of kindness that you could possibly do for yourself. Just choose one of those from your list until you get really good at it, and practice that one daily until you want to do something else. And then you can go down your list, add to your list, and have some ideas ready for yourself. So that will help you, and it'll motivate you, and you won't get stuck in the cycle of, I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything at all. And that happens a lot, believe it or not. So some of you that have this self-kindness down, I would really encourage you to increase it. Do it more often, spread the word, spread kindness and love throughout your day as you fill yourselves up, because the more self-kindness you practice, the kinder you're going to be to yourself and to others. It's just going to grow, and your child will benefit from these small acts of kindness as well, because you're going to feel happier. You're going to feel better. I know this because I've done it. You're going to notice that you're going to start feeling lighter. You're going to get more relaxed, and you're going to be aware that your self-kindness is growing because it gets easier. Remember, it is essential to begin with yourself. Your kindness and energy will grow. And as your kindness grows for self, your superpower will grow. Your energy is going to grow in all areas of your life. Self-kindness is one of your greatest superpowers. And that would be a great mantra for you as you begin incorporating this practice into your daily life, so that you can feel more joy in your life for your child and yourself. Enjoy your self-kindness practice. I can't wait to hear from you as your self-kindness practices grow and you start feeling happier. I get to hear from moms all the time. Make sure and let me know how it's going. I love hearing from you. If you're having any struggles with it, just go ahead and reach out to me, and I will be happy to help you. All right. Be kind and watch your beautiful selves grow. And I can't wait to see your smiles on your faces as you incorporate more joy into your life. I'll see you next episode. And until then, stay well, Stay safe and be kind.